You want clean data that's not only easy to analyze and communicate, but also trust. So, when's the best time to create your categories? Before data collection, after, or some hybrid of the two? In this video, I'll briefly walk through what's involved with each approach, when to use them, and provide sample scenarios. Before I begin, let me quickly disclaim that this video is for general information purposes only and is not professional advice. Categorizing data before data collection simply means creating a predefined list of options for a certain data field, which people must use to enter the data. Examples of this are drop-down lists on forms and checkbox questions on surveys. The key benefit of creating categories before data collection is that the data will arrive in a state that's easy to group and use, without additional post-processing. But it only makes sense under a few scenarios. First, there really only exist certain options. As an example, the list of departments in your company that can request maintenance in your business's work order system. Second, you only want to offer certain options because they're the only ones you care about. As an example, the list of pain points that your service offerings address. In these types of cases, consider a not applicable or other opt-out to keep your data clean. Third, you've already done enough work with open-ended data that you know what's emerging from that data, can group that data into cleanly defined categories, and feel confident that collecting additional data will not really add new category options. Whatever your application, it's important that your categories are easily understandable to the people who need to use them, so that you can be confident that your interpretation of the data matches the intent behind the selection. Categorizing data after data collection simply means that you're collecting open-ended data, whether short text or long paragraph, and then post-processing that data to see what themes emerge and how you might group various data entries into a list of categories that you use for further analysis. The key benefit of creating categories after data collection is that it allows you to collect information you did not anticipate. Doing this makes sense when you're honestly uncertain what the list should contain, and you want to prevent making things up based on guesses rather than good reasons to believe that those should be the options, or forcing people to select from options that don't fit. As an example, imagine conducting a time study to assess hiring needs in the context of employee capacity. Allowing employees to enter free text might uncover time spent in work-related conversations that indicate a need for training rather than a hiring need. When post-processing data like this, make sure you're not destroying the original data as you categorize. The categories are something you'll add, such as in a second column alongside the original data. Depending on your data, you might be able to extract a master list of unique original entries, and then create your mapping as a lookup table that you apply back to the entire data set by matching the original data entries to your new categories. Categorizing data before and after data collection simply means that at some point, you're mapping categories from one list, the one you used for data collection, to another list after the fact. Doing this makes sense when you can preserve the original category meaning as you map your data, so that you can be confident in any information or insight you draw from that mapped data. The most common example of this is migrating data from one database system to another, such as changing out your email marketing software. More interestingly, this could also look like a nonprofit collecting more race or ethnicity categories than appear on the grant report template, meaning you'll map your more nuanced categories to the shorter list. A third example is updating a survey question, with the caveat that sometimes data cannot be migrated, mapped, or combined in this way, because the change in category options means that the meaning behind the listed categories changes too significantly. Whatever your scenario, take steps to ensure you're not destroying the original data. If your after-the-fact categories are replacing your original categories, you should keep a record of original categories and how you've mapped them. Unlike mapping exclusively after the fact, this type of mapping data is usually stored outside of the data in a separate record-keeping document that includes other migration or change notes. If this video helped you, drop a comment below and let me know. If you've still got questions or want specific help with data categories, whether it's for project planning, analysis, or training, reach out to me, Barbara Olsavsky, the owner and data strategist at Blue Designs LLC, on LinkedIn or at bluedesigns.com. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone else who needs it. Thank you for watching.